The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, I'm Donta.
And hey, I'm Dana.
And welcome to the Donta Show.
What's up, Village? It's your boy Kwame, the man with the plan behind the stands. I'm going to go ahead and make this quick because some of y'all got mouths and be talking mess in the comments and saying that the intro commercial is too long. So, I got something for you. Here we go. Let's get into it. Before we bring out these awesome kings, I need you to stop what you're doing. Excuse me? Excuse me? Ma'am? Sir? You? Yeah, you! Whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, I need you to go ahead and share this live stream. Donta and Dana didn't get all dressed up for you not to share their melanated goodness. So share. You share everything else up in here. Share some quality content for your boys. Now that we mentioned YouTube, are you subscribed to the Donta Show's YouTube? Oh, you're not? Oh, girl. I'm going to need y'all to get it together. Join the village. Go over to www.youtube.com/Donta Morrison. And when you get a chance, head over to Dr. Morrison's. That's right, your boy got his PhD. Head over to Dr. Donta Morrison's website, www.dontamorrison.com, where you can learn more about the man, the myth, the legend known as Donta. And while you're at it, grab some TDS merch and his books. Yes, purchase those smutty books filled with smut. Grab The End of the Rainbow and Yesterday Clarified. And last but not least, head over to the company that put this all together, Pyro Media Network. Pyro Media Network is a proactive network focused on providing an innovative space for content creators and entrepreneurs. PMN is dedicated to giving its viewers a diverse entertainment experience while helping content creators elevate their production, engagement, and overall branding. To date, PMN has reached over 1 million viewers and listeners internationally, produced over 52 successful shows with high ratings and fanfare, and has housed over 60 content creators, brands, and businesses through entertainment and consulting services exclusive to PMN. Pyro Media Network is a network that makes you feel at home. So if you have an idea for a show, podcast, or need some professional video and audio production for your business or brand, then join the Pyro family today. Go ahead and visit www.pyromedianetwork.com and we will show you how to go to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome my brothers from another mother, the dynamic duo, the melanated kings themselves, Donta and Dana. Let's get it. Let's go!
What's up, fam bam? It is time for the Tuesday edition of the Dante Show, where you're stuck with me all by myself, no Dana involved because he is in class. All right. So listen, I'm all you got tonight. But guess what? I'm Dante Morrison of the Dante Show. So here we are. What's up, Williams twins? Yes, I am glad to be back. Glad to be back. So for those that did not know, your boy had COVID. Put it out there. Your boy had COVID. Yes, I am vaccinated and I am a breakthrough case. So I had COVID. So I was down for the count for about a week. And listen, if you have not had COVID, I'm telling you right now, don't get it. Wear your mask, wash your hands, do what you got to do. But once you get COVID, your life is changed. I am still battling some of the after effects and the remnants. The fatigue is no joke, but COVID is a beast and COVID does not play. So, take it from me. Do what you got to do. If you're not vaccinated, do your best to not be around folks that are living life reckless. All right. So wash your hands, wear your mask. I don't care what the CDC, your county, your church, I don't care what nobody say. Do what you got to do for you to make sure you do not catch COVID, because she is no joke. All right. So yes, I am back. I'm in full effect. I am feeling great. I was down for the count, but I am feeling great. I'm glad to be here for another round of conversation with the village. Village, check in. Are y'all in the building? Is y'all here? Is y'all here? Is y'all ready for this conversation? Let me go ahead and tag some more folks, because folks be playing. They be trying to sleep on your boy. But I want everyone to know that life is great and life should be lived. If you missed yesterday's conversation, you missed a phenomenal and very transparent dialogue. And I think it is so important that we have those intimate conversations, because if nothing else, we got to be there for each other. And yesterday was truly a sign of that. Nicole, we're going to talk about living your life without all of the sexual boundaries. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to walk you through it, and living your life outside of what society considers to be normal and healthy relationships. We're going to go there on tonight, and I'm excited about it because, listen, if nothing else, we keeps it real up in here, and I see everybody getting up in here, everybody coming in. So if you are just now joining the show on tonight, please make sure to tag a friend, tag your cousin, tag your loved one, get all your folks up in here, because we're going to dig deep. If you know the Dante Show, digging deep with Dante was our catchphrase back in the day, and it is no different. So yes, we're gonna dig deep on tonight. Thank you, Kyrie. Yes, I am feeling better. So I'm gonna ask this question right now. Ask this question and put yes or no in the comments. All right, Kwame, no, I'm not diving into it yet, Kwame. I'm gonna ask this question right now. Are you sex positive? Okay, are you sex positive? Put yes or no in the comments. Are you sex positive? All right, because I want to see who I'm talking to. I want to see what kind of room is here. Who's in the room? Who's in the room? Who's in the room? Are you sex positive? All right, let's go. Let's dive into this. And I want to see what y'all say, because some folks, and don't be scared to talk about it. Don't be scared to talk about it. Don't be scared to say if you are not. Don't be nervous. Don't be all panicky. But are you sex positive? And I think that is a phenomenal question to ask, because people need to know. People need to know. Kyrie says yes. Nicole Vick says yes. Cheryl Bailey wants to know, what does sex positive mean? So sex positive can be interpreted in different ways, but most importantly, it talks about, do you have positive attitudes about sex and feeling comfortable with your own sexuality, your own sexual identity, and the sexual behaviors of others? Meaning, when you think about sex or talk about sex, are you doing it from a, hey, everybody do what they do, live your life, don't hurt nobody else? Or are you entering the conversation with this marginalized perception of how human sexuality is? Do you go into it and you put all your morals on the table and say, yeah, I know you do that, you engage in that, but and I'm judgy. So that's what sex positivity is. Sex positive, it does not mean that you are out there just all willy-nilly throwing it up, and letting everybody catch it. It's more about, are you affirming others in their sexual behavior, in their sexual identity, and if basically, are you living and letting others live without judgment? That's what sex positivity is. All right. So Michelle Cook and Dog, Michelle, I love you, Michelle. You know I do. Michelle, yes, I am sex positive. Exactly. Ife, I am sex positive. I love that. I love that. I love that. And while you are here, y'all, tag some other folks up in this piece. Get some other folks up in this and let them have this conversation with us. So I'm tagging people as we talk because I want us to really have this conversation. I think it is really important. And I know that we talk about a lot of different things on the Dante show, and we really go there. But last week, I was invited to do a talk for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I was at Cal State Dominguez, and I did this conversation with them, and I was called to talk about HIV and STIs. Everybody knows that's my wheelhouse. That's what I do. But I get burnt out talking about HIV. Why? Because we're basically almost 40 years into this thing, and people still don't know how HIV is transmitted. I get it. If it's not something you do on a daily, you probably just don't know. But I entered the room and I saw all these college students, and it was great. It was a great turnout of just Black leaders, Black thinkers, Black, educated Black folks. I love that. So we talked about, I opened the door talking about sexual behaviors. Like, what do y'all do in the bedroom? And I know everybody's not going to admit to what they do because we live in a society where human sexuality is very marginalized. And anybody that does anything, well, we live in a heteronormative society. I'll put it that way. And even in heterosexual spaces, if it's anything other than missionary, folks get squeamish. Like, oh my goodness, no, we just lay face to face and say, I love you throughout the whole experience. Okay, if that's your truth, go off. No judgment. No judgment. But we know the real. We know the real. Some of y'all are real BBD, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no, do me baby. Y'all go there. So having this conversation with these young Black individuals was important for me because I know growing up Black, growing up in the Black church, growing up in Black family, we don't sit and just have living room conversation about sex. And if anybody out there grew up in the Black church, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Oftentimes, if you was also raised with your grandmama, raised with your grandma, raised with Big Mama and all that, you ain't sitting down on the plastic covered sofa with Big Mama talking about sex. You're not doing that. So we don't really get healthy understandings about sex. And what we fail to realize is that sex is really taught at a very early age. Now, the act, of course, no, we're not teaching little kindergartners about the act, but we are telling them about their private parts, off limits. Nobody touches that, yada, yada, yada. That is a conversation about sex. So what happens is we drop the ball when these kids, when Man and Doodlebug, when they enter puberty, we drop the ball. When they start growing the little hairs and he waking up making tints and she's wondering what's going on in her body, we kind of get like real nervous, like, oh my goodness, because this means I got to go there and dive there. No. That's when we still need to continue those healthy conversations about sex. Go ahead and share this video, y'all. Share. Invite your friends. Let them come on in. Let's have this talk. Let's talk about it. What I realized from talking at that conversation, having that conversation with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, having that conversation, once we got warmed up, they loved talking about sex. They felt, because I created a very safe space. Very safe space, because I'm like, yo, this is judgment-free zone. All right. No one in here is going to judge anybody for what they like to do, what they want to do, what they're curious about doing. We're going to talk about it because the only way I can teach you on how to have a healthy sex life is to let you know how to do things healthily. Period. Because when we allow folks to engage, when we tell people that everything is dirty and everything is shameful and everything is no, don't do it this way, they're going to go do it anyway. If it is their desire, if it is their interest, if it is their fetish, if it is something that is speaking to them, they're going to do it. And then when they do it, they're not going to talk about it, not knowing that they put themselves at risk for doing certain things because they were not taught how to do those certain things healthy. That is being sex positive. I'm all about sex positivity because my motto is what you eat, don't get me fat. Take that how you want to. What you eat, don't get me fat. I teach about risk reduction harm strategies. That's what I do. So whatever you want to do in the bedroom or in the backseat of a Cutlass, I'm going to tap on that window and say, crack the window, toot toot. Okay, so listen, do you guys have this? Are you doing this? Okay, all right, you're safe. I'm gonna go. That's what it's all about. All right. Williams Twins put a comment. Let me see. I don't have a problem talking about sex in general, but was raised not to really speak about what's going on behind my own closed doors because the next person might want to try my mate too. Now listen. Now I will give you that. Now listen, those of y'all that got a winner in the bedroom, don't you go out there bragging about that winner because everybody ain't your friend. And so ladies, if you want to brag about Tyrone and Leroy and J Quan and Jaheim and all that, oh girl, let me tell you what he did. Okay, your sister friend, it may be sitting there looking like, huh, really? He do what? Tell me more. Keep talking. What? He what? Uh-huh. Be easy. Be easy with the bragging. Be easy with the bragging. Fellas, don't brag about your girl and what she doing in the bedroom because all your boys ain't really your boys. Everybody ain't loyal. Everybody not loyal. So yes. Williams Twins, I 100% agree with that. Keep it in the closet, like Michael Jackson said. Just keep it under wraps. Like, yo, it's good. That's all you gotta know. Okay. But we're gonna talk about basically just different definitions of relationships. And what really sparked this conversation was my pastor and first lady. They're doing this family series at my church, and they're talking about being single. They're talking about being married, and it's really an interesting conversation. They're coming from a biblical standpoint, but I'm looking at it from my day-to-day job because I work in a very sex positive environment. That's what I do. So certain things don't freak me out like they will freak out the regular corporate America individual. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I've taught about it all, so nothing really shocks me. But I get that the general population is not as privy to certain things as I am. So when they were having these conversations during our Bible study and Sunday morning worship, I was really pulling from it and says, wow, that really makes sense. That makes sense. But before we go into tonight's conversation, have y'all got your friends up in here? Are y'all sharing it and tagging it and getting people up in here? Because it's going to be somebody out there that needs to know this. There was two pictures I want to share. Just really quick, that is not related to this conversation, but there are two pictures that caught my attention on social media, and I want to share them with you. So, Kwame, what's the first one? Let's see. Yeah, exactly, Williams Twins. Them your panties, them your drawers. Why they on the chandelier? Why they spit on the ceiling fan? What's going on? What's good? None of your business. They're drying. I saw this flyer and it hit me. We have all this Roe versus Wade conversation and the government trying to dictate what women can do with their bodies. Meanwhile, we're out of baby formula. So you can't get rid of the baby, but guess what? You can't feed them either. Go America. So you're pro-life until the baby is poor, transgender, black, gay, Mexican, disabled, sick, etc. Yes. In yesterday's conversation, if you missed last night's show, I strongly urge you to check out last night's episode of the Donta Show. We had a very solid conversation with some Black leaders. We had Nicole Vick, Dr. Donta. We had Cheryl, who's a lawyer, and we talked about this white supremacist society that we live in. And Cheryl brought the fact that we got to look at the fact that rich, white, straight Christian men are the ones pushing a lot of this stuff because they're basing their opinions in biblical misinterpretations. They're basing their opinions and their views and their stances in their white privilege, and then they're using their financial means to really push their agendas. So they pushed it. Yes, I was on last night, every Monday and Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Donta Show was live. So check out last night's episode, and we really unpacked all this stuff. But this picture speaks multitudes. You're pro-life. All these folks are pro-life. Then when the baby gets here, well, we ain't trying to feed these poor kids. Oh my God, the kid is transgender. No, we're going to ban all their rights. They can't go to the bathroom, based upon no, they can't do that. They're black. Wait a minute. Kill the black folks. They're gay. Oh, no, we don't do that. Mexicans, send them back across the border. Disabled. Oh my goodness. They're in my pocket. Sick. They can't have no health benefits, but we want them here. Pick a struggle, folks. Pick a struggle. All right. And then the next thing I saw this one courtesy of Thais. Y'all know Thais always gets the good and the skinny. Now listen. So you think you can preach So this is a contest to see who can be the best preacher. This is a contest, and the winner gets $100. So they lined up preachers now, and they're gonna have a "So You Think You Can Preach," and the winning preacher is going to get $100. Now listen, I'm not. I'm trying to use my words gingerly. I don't want to tighten. Listen. So I'm like, I want to see the judges' scorecard. Are you judging on delivery? Are you judging on context? Are you judging on the breakdown of the text? Are you judging on the hoop? And the growl? What are you judging on? What are you judging on? Because I have heard preachers from all different denominations. I've heard preachers from all different races, and I will tell you right now that I have sat under some and listened to some preachers that brought the message, and it was just calm, and they just said what the Bible said. They gave you an application. They gave you some guides and some tips, and they went and sat down. It was no hollering. It wasn't no yelling. It wasn't no spit covering the mic. It was none of that. And it was some of the most prolific and powerful words that I've heard. Yet on the other hand, I have heard, pastors that took that text and they yelled to the rooftops, and the emotion was high and the fervor was there. And I'm like, wow, you just preached a word. So it really, when I look at this, I'm like, so what are you basing this on? Are you basing it on who can rile up the congregation or the audience the most? Or who is going to preach a more in-depth text? Who is going to break this text down? Who is going to make this text applicable to our daily lives? Who is really going to go and just unpack the dispensation and time that the text was written? Who is going to give us the Greek and Hebrew translation? When I saw this, I sat back and I was like, wow, they're gonna win and they're gonna get $100. So I don't know. What is your take on this, y'all? And we're not gonna stay here long because I want to get into tonight's real conversation. Yes, Titan. What in the peanut butter and jelly? Kyrie said, I'm sure it's gonna be who can hoop the loudest and who can walk the pews. So Kyrie says it's gonna be based upon who can perform the best. Because preaching, it can be delivered in a lot of different ways. Sharitha, what say ye? Sharitha, what do you think it's going to be based upon? Do you think it's going to be based upon the entertainment factor in the theatrics? Or is it going to be based upon really who is giving us the word? Like, give me the word. And I think that is all in interpretation, how you take it. So for those that want to watch, make it large, Kwame, so those that want to watch can see what time. There you go, y'all. So it is going to be next Monday, May 23rd at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bishop Greg Davis presents Young Preacher, So You Think You Can Preach. I just want to know those who come in second, third, fourth, and fifth place. I mean, how is that last place person going to feel? Are they going to be like, wow, so I can't preach? I'm not sure. So, yeah. Okay, Kwame. I think they got it. They got the gist. Y'all got the gist. I just know that I would feel really, really bad if I came in last. I'd be like, wow, so maybe I'm not called by God. Wow, I can't preach. Wow, I thought I heard from the Lord. Wow, I thought I did a really good job unpacking that scripture. Wow, but they just said I can't preach. So I think that's kind of sad. So yeah. Okay, so that's that. So we're gonna dive. Hold on one second. I got a text. I know. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. So let's dive into our thing. Hold on. We got some more. I got some more comments. Hold on. Let me see. Who we got next? Williams Twin says, I don't know, because a shepherd must be able to lead. Maybe if they're winning a new church building for a new preacher, it's got to be something. But, let's be clear, Williams Twins, preaching and pastoring is totally different. It's a lot of folks that can preach that cannot pastor. And there's a lot of folks that pastor that cannot preach. But so there's a difference. So I think this right here is all about the theatrics of the preaching, theatrics, and all that kind of stuff. So when you think about that, it's the preaching, theatrics, and whatever, not the pastor. Those are two totally different things. And I always tell people that say, I'm accepting my calling to ministry. Well, preaching is the easy part. That's the easy part. The whole pastoring and dealing with people, listen, that takes a special kind of individual. Okay, because I can preach, but pastoring, I see what they go through, and I'm like, Lord, don't put that mantle on me, God. So, all right, let's get to tonight's conversation. So, Kwame, do we have a header? I can't remember because we did this at the drop of a hat. So tonight's conversation really is going to be about unpacking and breaking the norms of how we have been taught about what a relationship is. All right. So start sharing this with all your folks that want to have a better idea or don't want to feel alone about their views on relationships. So start sharing right now. Invite some folks, tag them on in. We're going to talk about breaking the norms. So by a raise of hands or a hit of hearts or, yep, that was me. How many of you were raised to believe that unless you get married and have kids, your life really won't have any meaning? You were raised to believe, and growing up, you were told you need to find you a good husband, need to find you a good wife, so your life can be complete. How many of you were raised to believe that completion comes with marriage? Who was taught that when you grow up? Yes, Jordan, here we go. Let's do this. So Jordan, we turned the corner, Jordan. We off the path. So that was based upon the flyer I saw. But tonight we're talking about relationships. So breaking the norms and how people identify relationships. So were you raised to believe that your life is only complete if you get married? Or once you get older, you got to settle down and have a family so you can have some fulfillment in your life. All right, so that's what I see. So that's usually a norm that many people are raised up to believe. They're taught. So then we get some people when they get a certain age and they're not right, complete. Jordan said the Bible said so. Right, the Bible said so. You got a scripture to back that up, Jordan. Cheryl said yes. Williams twins. I'm not sure about that word complete. Right, but we're made to. Some people were made to feel that unless they have a companion or a marital partner, that something is missing. Even if they don't want one, they were taught to believe that no, you gotta have one to go through this life, because no one wants to die alone and lonely. And I think the definition of alone and lonely gets so misconstrued. I know a lot of single people who are not lonely. I know a lot of folks that love themselves enough where they can live their entire life by themselves and not feel lonely. But society, some people are raised to believe that, wow, you're by yourself all the time. You must be so lonely. Actually, I'm not. I remember when I was going through my years of singleness, I learned to date myself. And the young men that I was mentoring at the time, I would always ask them, do you guys date yourself? Well, what does that mean, Pop? Oh, Frankie, I miss Frankie. What does that mean, Pop? Dating yourself. Do you take yourself out to the movies? Can you go and sit in a restaurant and eat alone? Can you go to a restaurant that you always wanted to eat at and sit there and eat alone? Can you go here alone? Can you go there alone? And they're like, oh, no, I can't. Folks going to be looking at me like I'm crazy, looking at me like I'm weird. Yeah, but you're there with your best friend, which is you. A lot of folks cannot do that. A lot of folks can't do that. Let's go back up here, Kwame. Let's see. Portia said the Bible taught her that, right? Church does that all the time. In the church, that is taught. Yes, exactly. I was raised in church, but my mom wasn't a Bible thumper. Jordan, your mama was not a Bible thumper. I know your mama. She was not. Kyrie says, I'm one of them. I'm not lonely at all. Kyrie, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk when we get to the single and satisfied section of tonight's show. We're going to talk about that. Portia, or if you don't have kids, bingo, boom, pow. Swish. Yes, Portia, go. Or if you don't have kids. It is so, I hate hearing people tell women that if you don't have kids, well, you ain't no woman, or you missing out, or you don't have kids. Well, some women don't want kids. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Some women do not want children. Some women do not want to carry children. Some women don't feel that ticking in their womb to say, oh my God, I got to do this now. Some women do not feel that. They are like, I am good. I am good with me. I am good with this body. I am good traveling. I am good doing what I want to do without children. But society puts this standard on women like you got to have a husband and you got to have kids or something is wrong with your life. Something is wrong with you. What's going on with you? What's wrong? Why can't you get a man? Well, I can get a man. I just choose not to have a man. And I think that it's unfair that we put that mantle on women. Ife just said, I don't want kids. And Ife is a woman. Even I don't want kids. Period. Portia says, I don't have the stress and have to deal with a lot of the BS that people with kids or partners have had to deal with. Yes, some people sit back, they watch their girlfriends, or boyfriends go through some drama. They're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. So I think that we need to change some of these conversations. And a lot of it has been normalized. And it's unfair to the women and the men that don't want to have children. We need to teach them more like, okay, if you want them, you want them. But if you don't, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Period. All right. All right. So here we go. And Sharita said, kids aren't for everyone. Yeah, y'all pushing, go out there and have these kids. Now the kids got this mama that never really wanted them. And guess where that kid is at? Big mama house. All the time. The kids don't even know their mama. Ain't got no connection with their mama because the mama never really wanted them. But the mama listened to the whole family and said, girl, go out there and get you a baby. Have a baby. Yada. It'll change your life. Well, you'll slow down once you have kids. Nuh-uh. She pushed that puppy out and was at the club 2 days later. So no, it ain't for everybody. All right. So here we go. Let me see. Hold on. So here we go. Joe McClain wants kids. Joe McClain wants kids, and he wants to know where the ladies that was DMing me about him. So listen, ladies, if you do not know who Joe McClain is, hit up author and spoken word artist Joe McClain. And guess what, ladies? He's retired military. Cha-ching! Joe is a catch. Joe is a good dude. Joe is a solid brother. So ladies, if you are out there and you like, I can't seem to meet the right one. I want somebody that's loyal, is going to love me for who I am. I want somebody that's really 100. I want somebody that's going to tell me I'm pretty. Reach out to Joe. He'll tell you you're pretty. But please, be pretty. That's the message. Be pretty. Okay. All right. Here we go. So we're talking about that. So the first part, Kwame, what was it? Single and satisfied. So here we go. For all my single and satisfied people, my hat is off to you. I applaud you 100%. I give you kudos and I raise a glass to you on your behalf. If you are single and satisfied, put in the comment section, I am single and satisfied. Now listen, put you are single and satisfied and mean it 100%. Don't put I'm single and satisfied and you try to just act all big and bad on the Dante show, but you're really single and satisfied, or you ain't satisfied being single. All right. So please, if you are single and satisfied, yell it out, say it loud, go to the top of the mountain and say single and satisfied. Own that thing. Own it, okay? Don't just do it because you want to be in the in crowd, because you're about to mess up yourself and say you're single and satisfied. And those that's relationship ready, which is our number 2, the relationship ready is going to scroll right past you because you are empowered in your single and satisfied state. All right. So if you're not really single and satisfied, don't brag about that. So let's go. Here we go. Ife, single and satisfied. Jordan is single and happy. He ain't satisfied, but he is happy. Joe is single and satisfied. Kyrie, single and satisfied. Portia, you're our next segment. You're our number 2, our relationship ready. You got single and satisfied. Single and satisfied. All right, you got to be ready now. You got to be ready. So Pam, single and Pam, we're not gonna bring that energy. You're not lonely. You're not lonely, Pam. We're gonna change your mindset. You're not lonely. You're not lonely. All right. Titan, single and satisfied. Single and satisfied. Yes, I am. Here you go. All your single and satisfied folks. I give you praise. I give you kudos. Now, this is what we talked about when we talked about all the sex positivity and all that kind of stuff. So me and Kwame had a very healthy conversation before going live on tonight because I talked about something that many people address, and I'm gonna say what it is. Then we're gonna go to commercial really quick. Kwame, I see the comments. I see it. I see the private chat. I'm trying to set it up before the commercial. Anybody's on Power Media Network and have Kwame as your producer. When I say that private chat is his thing, and it's like Kwame, I saw it the first time. I'm gonna.
See, there you go. There you go.
The lies.
There you
the
go.
Lies,
This bitch.
the
I'm
lies.
telling you, trifling.
I'm just saying. I saw it. I saw it. I know, commercial break. So when I said a word and I called it sexually empowered. Sexually empowered. If a person is sexually empowered, we misconstrue them and label them a hoe. And usually people who are single and satisfied are sexually empowered and they get mislabeled a hoe. Is that fair? Yes or no? After commercial, we'll unpack that. Kwame, let's go to commercial. Oh, you ain't ready? You ain't ready?
You sure I can go to commercial?
Commercial, back. So we're back for the second half of the Dante show. So we are talking about just stepping outside the box with these labels. So I started out talking about how most folks are raised to believe that unless you get married and have kids, you do not have a productive life and that something must be wrong with you. But I went on to share that everybody is not marriage material. Everybody don't want kids, and those who are not marriage material, they know who they are. Those who don't want kids know who they are. But then we talked about, being single and satisfied. So when you are single, and for me, I feel when a person is single, they really have the right to do whatever they want to do with their body. because they're not committed to anybody. They have itches that needs to be scratched. But unfortunately, society will label those who are sexually empowered, sexually independent. They'll get the moniker of hoe. I personally don't like the word hoe because I think that it marginalizes people and is very judgy. It's very judgy. If someone is single and they're in control of what they do and it's all consensual, why do we shame them or make them like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that? Doing what? What are they doing wrong? What are they doing wrong? So the conversation if the conversation, and see, Joe, and see, that's when the judgy comes in. Because if they, what does anything mean? What is anything? I think people are selective. I think people are selective, and I think people do what they want to do. And anything to you may not mean anything to them. Because we can all look at a friend or find that friend that was intimate with somebody like, oh my God, I cannot believe that you really was with that person. Wow, really? And they're looking like, what's wrong with this individual? Well, I mean, I never will be with that person. Well, good. And you never have. So what's the big what? Why are you comparing what you would do to what I would do? And we all have our limitations. And I think that we all have a type. And I think that when it comes down to the type, my type may not be your type. So you can look like, wow, Dante, you do that. If I showed y'all some of my past, y'all might be like, wow, I never would have. And you never did. And then some you'll be like, wow, I wish I could have. And you never can. But I'm just saying that we all have our own approach. We all have our own drive. We all have our own desires. And I think that's why so many people don't share what they do. Like I said, when I had the conversation with the Deltas at their conversation, and it was some guys up in there as well. And I asked the question, do you really want to know how many partners your current person has ever been with? And they was like, you mean like how many bodies? Now, fellas, here's my question for you. Do you judge a woman based upon the number of bodies she has? Do you judge her? Does her value go down? Does her market price drop if she has a high body count? And then women, do you judge the man or look at the man differently based upon how many bodies he has? Does his market value go down? Or is there a double standard out there? And I know some people may say there is a double standard, because I think when it comes to women are not given the freedom to be as sexually independent as men are, in theory. Women are told, well, you cannot do all that because you're not a man. And I even shared that for a long time, I thought women didn't like sex. I thought women just had sex to please their man. And then from working with Shantae and Miss Forbidden Kiss and going to the parties and all that, selling the sex toys and whatnot, I learned a lot about women. And I learned a lot about what women like. And I learned a lot about what women want to do. And I was like, wow, I had no idea. But society makes it seem like that a woman with a high sex drive, something's wrong with her. Or a woman that has a lot of bodies, something's wrong with her, and she gets judged. She gets judged and she gets shamed. So Portia said there's definitely a double standard. Joe, we all got to pass. We all got to pass. Sean also said we all got to pass. But I believe that women are looked upon as hoes based upon their body counts, but men aren't. But men aren't. And I think so too. I think that I don't think women get to be as loud about what they do as men do. Men can walk around, we can grab our sack and brag about all that we smashed. And it is no different whether you are gay or straight. Being a man is being a man. We got gay dudes walking around. Yeah, I hit that. We got straight dudes. I hit that. It's all about that conquest, because we're the hunters. It's all about that conquest. Women don't walk around grabbing their crotch saying, girl, yeah, I had this one and this one and this one. Women don't do that. Women have decorum. Just be clear. Women have decorum, but women also have to be a little bit more, quiet about their get down. They gotta be quiet about their get down. So we come right, Joe. Right, Joe ain't lying though. Military's a little different. Military's a little different. The aggression's a little more different in the military. But just talk about regular folk, the common folk, the civilians. It's a different way of talking about it. So we talked about single and satisfied. Now, for those that are relationship ready, and Kwame, I missed your whole comment. I saw you post something really long. I missed it. Okay, yada 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 yada. Right. This is going to our relationship ready. Kwame said, "You let me know how we proceed based upon how you handle your body." So yes, you're entitled to do what you want, but if you're out there, I can't be comfortable knowing that you're going to take me seriously. So basically, when we got into the relationship ready, me and Kwame, this when I sat back and Kwame started speaking his truth about this, saying, "Yo, if a person's relationship ready, they need to start toning down what they do with what they're doing. Just tone it down a little bit. I guess give yourself time to purge whatever has, you've been doing. Tighten up a bit. Tighten up. Take some time to just seal the deal, seal it back up." So I was like, well, a lot of times people meet the person of their dreams and had no idea that person was coming. So let's just say the day before, you was living your best life, and however you want to frame that is how you frame that. And then the very next day, you meet that person that has swept you off your feet. Now this person decides to ask, are you like, are you intimate? Yeah. Or when was the last time you was intimate? Huh? Because I saw something about you, and you like yesterday. What? Yesterday? I know I was gonna meet you today. So don't get in your feelings, but moving forward, we can talk about how it's gonna progress. Normally that's not how the conversation goes. Normally we don't tell folks, "Yo, I just smashed yesterday," or "I just got smashed yesterday." We don't do that. We play the role like, well, I'm dating a few people, but it's nothing serious, and we use all the words that make it seem like we're preserving ourselves just for you. But guess what? We didn't know you were coming. We weren't looking for you. We hadn't planned on you. We were single and satisfied. But then we got a little relationship ready when we saw you and said, "Hey, this might be the one. This might be the one." Now, you made the mistake when you want to ask certain questions that you ain't ready for the answer for. Period, point blank. You're not ready for the answer. So don't ask those questions. And I think that that's where folks mess up. They dive into to the dating pool, or they'll start talking to someone, and then they'll start asking questions thinking that I want to get to know you. Got to crawl for you walk. You sure you want to get to know me? You sure you want to get to know me? Okay, well, here we go. And then the person opens up to you, and then you either shame them, or it's more than that you can handle. Now, do you want the truth or not? Because if we tell you the truth, that means you got to be ready to handle the truth. So be careful when you start asking these questions that may alter how you think about the person. Because like I said, who they were with before you is irrelevant. It is really irrelevant unless, of course, they sitting there, they scratching and all that kind of stuff. Then we got to talk about that. Let's get on down to the clinic real quick, get you cleaned up. Then we go on, we can move forward. But I think that it's really about what you're prepared to do. So relationship ready. Now, when we talk about relationship ready, what does that mean? What does that look like? Does that mean that you're not dating anymore? Does that mean you're only dating one person? Does that mean that the person you meet, they can no longer be dating anybody else? That's all the kind of stuff that you navigate with that individual. Some of you have these lists that are exhaustive. And the reason that you probably ain't met that person is because some of your deal breakers is a little unrealistic. All they toes must be the right length. Really? That's on your list? I mean, I get you want a nice foot to look at, but come on. So let's see. All right, let's get these comments. All right. Sean said, that I have met someone who meets my needs. Come on. And I also told the people, the Deltas, I keep saying that because I'm so glad they invited me. be careful when you ask a person, am I the best you ever had? Because how you going to react if they say no? Because some of y'all got egos this through the roof. And oh, girl, was I the best you ever had? No. Now how you gonna react to her? Which you gonna sit there and clutch your little bird chest and be like, I'm not. Am I second? No. Did I come in third? No. Fourth? Fifth? Let's just not talk about this, okay? You did what you did, and it was cool, okay? I mean, all right. Don't do that. Don't do it right. In my top five? I mean, don't ask that question. Don't ask that question. Don't do that. Don't do that. And ladies, please don't you do that. Please don't do that. I'm the best you ever had, huh, daddy? No, not really. But you all right. Now your feelings hurt. Now you want him to get all his stuff and get out. Take his toothbrush, empty out his drawer you made for him. Get out. Don't you come back here no more. Get out. I hate you, Jody. I hate you. You hate me because I was honest. You asked the question. How about you ask, your follow-up should be, well, how can I make it better? That should be the follow-up question. How can I make it better? What should I do differently? Okay? There. Period. You grow together. You go together. So I'm just saying, don't ask that. Didn't I blow, right, Sharitha, didn't I blow your back out? No, not really. Don't see it. Don't ask these questions that you don't want to know the answer to. So, relationship ready. We got that. Now, we're gonna turn the corner a little bit, and we're gonna talk about something that we don't talk about. Okay? People are scared to talk about it. Kwame, do you have it? Polyamory. So here we go. She had a vacuum, Joe. Hoover. They call her Jawbone. I love Joe because I hear his voice in my ear, and she is fine. All right, so polyamory. All right, polyamory. Now I know that this right here makes some folks cringe. Like, well, wait a minute, I don't understand it. Well, if it's not your boat, don't get on it. Okay? Don't get on it. But I think this needs to be addressed because polyamory is not something new. This was not just invented in the new millennium. Polyamory has been around for centuries, multiple wives, concubines, you name it. So think about this. So polyamory, have any of you ever thought about being in a polyamorous relationship? Now, when I say polyamory, this does not mean just a simple threesome. It's not always about the sex. Get your mind out the gutter. Polyamorous relationships are just that, relationships. You are in a relationship with 2 people or 3 people or 4 people. It's a relationship and you are with them all and you are loving them equally. Now, equally can be loosely used, but you are in a relationship with all of them. Now, for some of y'all, you're like, well, that's just not natural. Well, there's a lot of things you do with your body that is not natural. Okay, a lot. Either what you eat, or something is just not natural, but you do it anyway. Drinking cow's milk is not natural because cow's milk is for a calf, not a human. Neither here nor there. So polyamory, I think a lot of people would pursue a polyamorous relationship if it was normalized. And I know normalized is a huge word to say, but there's a lot of you out there, a lot of y'all out here watching right now is like, I would do it, but what would my mother say? What would my father say? What would my friend say if I came over and I had, 2? Maybe you got one of each gender. I don't know. What would you say? So when you think about this and you think about you and what you desire and what you want, are you scared to live in authenticity because you are concerned about how society will label you? And if you are that individual, my thing for you is YOLO. You only live once. You only live once. And I always say that we are born on stage. We are born, it's lights, camera, action. We are already on stage. So all the other stuff that we're trying to do is like, well, that's not really who you are. Live your best life. Do what makes you feel good. Do what makes you feel happy. Do what makes you feel whole. Everyone does not have to understand it. Everyone is not going to understand it. But if it's something that you want to do that is going to make you have the best life possible, why are you not doing it? You're not hurting anybody. I know it's really weird. It's really controversial. But like I say, I work in a very sex positive environment. So I'm talking to you, as someone who works in a sex positive environment, who talks about sex positivity and have been around individuals who literally want to be in polyamorous relationships, but they're scared of what society is going to say or think about them. And like I said at the top of the show, what you eat, don't get me fat. I'm not the polyamorous type. I ain't secure enough for that life. I ain't secure. Because the minute you say the other person's name, I'm like, oh, so what that mean? What's that all about? I'm real petty. I'm real small. But Portia, Portia said 2 incomes is better than 2, but 3 incomes is better than 2, right? Listen, it's all about that money. It's all about that money. Right, Sharitha, it's not for me. It's not for me. So Portia says I'm bisexual, so I wouldn't mind having a boyfriend and a girlfriend. See, Portia, thank you for your honesty and transparency in this safe space. I just always wondered how would it be navigated? How do you navigate it? Because I'm very busy. I got a job. I do all kind of stuff. Then I got to come home and deal with 2 people. Whew, that's a lot. But then at the other side, I thought about like, well, if you got 2 people at home and you don't really feel like being bothered, they're never going to be lonely. So you can always go. I can just go to sleep. Y'all got each other. When I want to be bothered, I'll come out the room. But that's a weird way to think about it. Right, Krishan? How do you juggle 2 or 3? I'm just saying. And then what? Like I always say, what do I do if they keep saying the other person's name? And I'm like, yo, I'm right here. I am right here. Okay, so that's just me. All right. So Joe, you don't share your burritos. You don't you don't share your burritos though. So I just think so when we talk about that's sex positivity. And I love the fact that the majority of you said, you know what? I agree. What you eat don't get me fat. It's not for me in my household. But if you want that, go off. Do it. Be great. Live your best life. YOLO. Do what you got to do. But I think that we need to have these conversations, especially within the Black community, because Black people, we don't really have sex positive conversations. It's really cut and dry, black or white. So really, when it goes on to relationships, what's normal? Normal is whatever makes you happy and helps you live your best life. Normal is when you get to the space where you don't really care about the outside world's opinion, because whatever's going on in your house, you're not hurting nobody. You ain't hurting no old people, no kids. That's all I say, because I'll report you. Elder abuse, child abuse, I'm reporting you. You ain't hurting no old people, no kids. What is normal? Whatever goes on in your house. Kyrie asked a good question. So if I break up with one, do I have to break up with the other one? That's a good question. If all 3 of y'all are on the lease, and you broke up with one, who leaving? Who leaving? I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying, and then Tim said, I ain't trying to learn the intricacies of more than one person on a romantic level. It is a lot to juggle. It is a lot to juggle. But then here's my thing. Some people make the mistake and they try to make their partner, their main partner. If you're into just the regular relationship, you try to make that main partner your everything. Everything. No one can satisfy all of your needs. No one person can satisfy all your needs. I don't care how deep in love you are and how much. There's always going to be something about you that your significant other is not going to fulfill. It's just not. It's just not going to happen. But do you really want to pull in one person to fill that 2.5% gap of what's missing? You got a whole human now, to fulfill that, that small window of what's missing. And I think it's really important. I mean, you think about that. And that's usually why most folks end up cheating, because they want to fulfill that little small gap. But now you've cheated. And now you got this whole situation going on. And it just adds a lot to the pot, to the stew. All right. So I'm at the 9 o'clock hour, and Kwame is a stickler for shutting down after that 1 hour. This has been a very insightful and healthy conversation. I am so glad that you all took the time to just chime in. Portia, thank you. Let me get Portia's comment real quick. I feel like dating women is a lot different from dating men. If I was a wife with kids, another girlfriend would give me the support and help that a man can't. Sister wives, I get it, Portia. I get it. Sister wives, she understands. Yo, and real quick, holler at your boy, Joe McClain, JoeMaxSpeaks.com, JoeMaxSpeaks.com. Shameless plug because Joe's been on the show a few times. Support his books, support his works. I'm all about supporting Black business. I got to get Ife on the show to talk about her business because she just launched her business as well. So y'all support Joe McClain and all that kind of good stuff. It is 9 o'clock. I want to leave you guys with a quick quote. Let me just show up real quick. This is a quick quote, and I think that it is important for us to remember. Okay, here we go. We are healed to help others. We are blessed to be a blessing. We are saved to serve, not to sit around and wait for heaven. All right, think about that. So whatever you have overcome, whatever you have been through, whatever you have been delivered out of, whatever you've been healed for, it's all about helping others. Help others. Don't just get healed and get your deliverance and get free and liberated, and then you just sitting back waiting to get to heaven. Just looking real slow. No. You overcame that to help somebody else overcome it too. Everything we go through is for someone else to grow. All of our stories, all of our trials, all of our tribulations, we went through that. We survived it so that we can help the next person. That's why we're not to be selfish with all of that. We're here to help others. My brother, Joe McClain, helps me. If I call Joe right now, he's going to give me some kind of words of wisdom, period, point blank. But we're here to help each other. And if you are big on that kind of affirmation conversation, check out Titan Capri's show. Titan always drops words of affirmation, words of what you need to do to get over stuff, how to woosah, how to center yourself. We are all here to help each other. All of us have a story. All of us have been through it. So let's make sure that we are doing our part to help the next person. Each one, reach one, period, point blank, especially people of color, because we are going through a lot right now. So let's reach out and make sure we show that love. Like Dana always say, spread love. Instead of spreading lies, spread love. Instead of spreading lies. Make sure to do that, y'all. Make sure to do that. So check me out on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the Donta Show on YouTube, youtube.com/Donta Morrison. Click that subscribe button. It will cost you absolutely nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's free. All right, so just share. Village, I thank you. I appreciate you. I love you for just rocking with me all these years. I love you so much. Follow me on Instagram, Donta_Morrison, Donta_Morrison on the IG. All right, so Ife, I'm gonna send you the link to get you up on this show. Joe, I gotta get you back on the show. I miss you, man. I miss having our conversations on air with the people. If you got another video dropping, let me know so I can share it with the folks. All right, give it up for Kwame Corbett and Pyro Media Network. If you would like to be a part of the Pyro family, just reach out to Pyro Media. We do all kind of stuff. They do shows like the Donta Show, podcasts. If you need a photo shoot done, you can do a photo shoot. You want just a commercial for your brand, they do that. Pyro is a cornucopia of support, and they are Black owned. So please, if you want to support a Black business, support Pyro Media Network. If you're going to be a guest on the Donta Show, go to pyromedianetwork.com, find the Donta Show, and click I want to be a guest. I want to come on and talk to my boy and chop it up. All right. So whether you are single and satisfied or relationship ready, I hope tonight empowered you, affirmed you, and made you feel better about whatever space you are in. So until next week, please stay safe, wash your hands, wear your mask, practice social distancing, and do all that kind of good stuff. I will see you next week, y'all. Take care. God bless. And I love you. Yes, I do.
You sure I can end the show?
You're so small. You're so petty. Good night, everybody.